Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at today is adjacent angles. Adjacent angles kind of drum to the same beat as complementary and supplementary angles, but they don't add up to 90 or 180. Well, I guess they could, but they are kind of like the flexible angles. I'll show you what I mean. So let's do an example first. Here, let me pull it down so you guys can write the. Your drawings do not need to be perfect. I know mine definitely are not perfect. Okay, so we're going to say that the measure of angle WXZ is equal to 122 degrees. And we're going to find the measure of angle WXY. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. Go ahead and get that all written down, and then we'll talk about it. While you guys are doing that too, how many of you are going to be doing the Day of Awesome on Monday? Yeah, because remember we were supposed to do it in the fall. It never happened because we kept getting rained out. Okay, so that's a good number of you because it spans, I think, second to third period. So some of you I might not see during third period on Monday. I'm going to make sure that whatever we're doing does not impact our current unit. So don't stress. Because it wouldn't be very awesome if you go to the Day of Awesome and then you still have to make up all your math stuff. It's supposed to be a treat, right? All right, let's talk about this. These are adjacent angles, meaning that they're right next to each other. And the measure of the whole angle, WXZ, is 122 degrees. And we want to find the measure of angle WXY, so this angle right here. So just like we did for supplementary and complementary, we are going to subtract. We're going to take the measure of the whole angle and we're going to subtract the measure of that angle to find the other angle. I'm getting 87. Is that what you guys got on that? Okay, so that means this angle right here is 87 degrees. Pretty straightforward, right? Yeah? Okay, let's add some algebra. Bless you. All right. So let's say that the measure of angle ABC is equal to 112 degrees. We are going to find X. Okay. So given what we just did with adjacent angles, we know that this angle right here plus this angle right here, the whole thing is going to be 112 degrees. Okay, I'm going to let you get that written down real quick because I can see that there's still some people writing. Okay. So like I said, this whole thing is 112. So this angle, the measure of this angle plus the measure of this angle is going to equal 112. So we're going to write an equation for it. We're going to say this angle has a measure of x plus this angle, which has a measure of x plus 22, equals the whole thing, which is 112 degrees. Does everybody see how I got that? Okay. All right. So now all we have to do is simplify and solve for our variable. So go ahead and do that. I'll do it too. Did you guys get 45? Fantastic. Okay, so this is adjacent angles. Now let's take a look at vertical angles. Vertical angles. Okay. Do you guys remember what we know about vertical angles? If we look back at our vocabulary sheet that we started, we look at vertical angles have the same measure, okay? So for example, this is not going to be exactly the same. Ooh, actually that's pretty close, but let me get a new piece of patty paper and I'll show you. So just a reminder, vertical angles are the ones that are different, like supplementary, complementary, and adjacent angles all drum to the same beat. You have the total measurement of the big angle, and then you're basically subtracting to find a missing. Vertical angles are the ones that are slightly different. So if this angle is 38, and I fold my paper over, I can line up my two angles, and they're exactly the same, which means that if this is 38, so is this, okay? So in this case, this x is equal to 38. Now, If I was to cover up this side of it, what would be the measure of this angle right here? Think you know it, raise your hand. All right, say it out.
142.
Good, 142. Why is it 142? Go ahead, Kara.
Because they're supplementary.
Yes, they're supplementary, okay. Now, vertical angles, what does this angle have to be then?
142.
Yes. Okay. Let's do a little algebra with vertical angles, and then we'll have some fun with a couple of challenge problems. Okay. How many of you already know what x is? Good. Okay. Now, if you're going to set up an equation for this, though, since these two things have the same measure because they're vertical, we can say that this angle to x is equal to the measure of this angle, which is 128. And then you just solve the equation. And we get that x is equal to 64 degrees. So vertical angles are the only ones that you're setting them equal to each other. The other angles, they're adding to a certain thing, a certain amount. Okay. All right, let's do some, just kind of stretch your thinking here. We're going to do a couple of challenge ones. Okay. How many of you know what x is already? Okay, say it out. 52, good. Okay, so these two angles together are vertical to this one, and they're splitting it. Okay, so that's why they're 52. Okay, see if you can figure out the other two angles real quick. Okay, what are they?
76.
76, good. Okay, you can look at this so many different ways. You could just look at that and be like, well, 52 plus 52, subtract it from 180, and I get that. You could look at it this way. You can think that these are vertical. There's a lot of different ways to approach a problem. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, see if you can find the measure of all the angles. Okay. What is this angle right here? Yeah, this is 81. They're vertical. Okay. What is this little sliver right here?
9.
Yeah. How'd you know?
90 minus 81.
Oh, because this is a right angle. This is a right angle then? They're complementary. Good. What's this big angle right here? How'd you know? Ooh, I heard a lot of different things. Some people said vertical. They did 9 plus 90. I heard some people say supplementary because this angle and this angle are supplementary to each other. That's what's fun about these, is you can look at them from so many different ways, okay? All right, at this point, I'm gonna show you the table of contents. I'm gonna let you guys work in iExcel. I need you to be doing math. I don't wanna see you playing Snake or chess or whatever else. You can work on circles, you can work on probability, you can get your homework done, you can work on recommended skills, you can work on your diagnostic. Lots of options.